to show you how to install the EnduroSport lift system on a 2018 or newer Jeep Wrangler. It is so easy, anyone can do it. So you're most likely doing this at home. You're going to want jacks and jack stands, and you will place the jack stands under the vehicle once it is lifted so that your suspension can fully droop. Once the vehicle is up and on the jack stands, you're going to want to start with the front and do half of the vehicle first. So we will start with the front and then work our way to the back. To start off, we're going to remove the factory suspension. We are going to undo the brackets for the brake lines so that we can drop the axle and have more slack in order to remove the suspension. So next we're going to disconnect the front axle disconnect wiring along with on Rubicon's your locker disconnect. On the driver's side for the brake line, it doesn't have enough slack, so you will need to come up and remove the clip. You're going to want to jack your axle up in order to remove the tension off the bolts. We're going to use an 18mm ratchet to remove your sway bar and links. Here's a tech tip for you. Sometimes this will freely spin. So you want to remove your bottom completely and just jam it a little in order to remove it. Now that your end links are removed, you're going to push this up out of the way. And we're going to start on our shocks. You will need an 18mm ratchet and wrench. Now you're ready to drop your axle and remove your coil springs. Here's a tech tip. There are two nubs that will need to be aligned and inserted correctly. You're going to place the bump extension inside the coil and then place it on. The Dynatrac includes this flag nut to make installing your bump extensions easier, so you will slide it underneath your coil spring perch and easy to install. Now we're going to install the brake line extension brackets. You will want to put the new bracket on the old one first in order to put it on. There are a left and a right, so double check to make sure you're putting the right one on. You will then take a 10mm ratchet and put the new one on. So you will want to reinstall the brake line bracket before you install the shocks. When installing the shocks, you want to check the part numbers. 178 will go in the rear and 177 will go in the front. Now we're ready to work on the rear. We've lifted the axle up to remove the tension from the bolts. We're going to remove the shocks and the sway bar end links. One of the unique things about the EnduroSport is you do not have to remove your front or rear track bar in order to save time. So we're going to use the rear factory sway bar end links and put it in your front. Now it's time to remove your rear coil springs. You'll want to lower your axle in order to remove the spring. To help with installation, we've added some silicone on the upper coil isolator. We're going to insert the nipple and make sure it stays put so you can put your spring in and not juggle parts. So you're going to want to have an extra set of hands in order to do your rear springs. That way you can have them both in place and then lift the axle up to set them. So next we're going to install the bump stop extension. Now we're going to install the new sway bar end links. They are supposed to be angled, and we do suggest that you put the bolt in this way. The last thing that we're going to do on the rear is put the shocks in. You want to start with the upper bolt. You're going to want to insert the bolt in this direction. So this is the last step of installation for the EnduroSport suspension system. You'll take your rear sway bar end links and install them on the front. Your driver's side does have a spacer to help align it. So now that we are done with the installation, the 35-inch tires fit perfect without cutting, and we're ready to go out and explore.